The Toronto real estate market is going through a significant change right now, with the number of listings significantly up and number of sales down. We've got a lot to cover to see where this market's headed. If you're new to this channel, my name is Sid Sur from Team Sur Real Estate. I help clients with buying, selling, leasing, investing, and all aspects of real estate. Please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you'd like to book a call with me, please go ahead and follow the link in the description to book a one-on-one time with me. Now, in the month of September, the Toronto real estate market saw a dip in the number of sales, mostly pressured by factors like higher borrowing costs, the uncertainty surrounding the Bank of Canada's monetary policy, high inflation, and just an overall slowdown of the economy. Now, despite all of these factors, we still saw a not just month over month, but also a year over year increase in prices. Now, before I get to the numbers and stats, just bear in mind that the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, or also known as TREB, when they report their monthly numbers and stats, that's what news organizations will use to describe the state of the market. Right? Just bear in mind that the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board comprises more than just the city of Toronto, but also the surrounding areas like Peel Region, Brampton, Mississauga. You've got Durham region as well. So it really is a combination of all of these markets, which gives you an overall picture of what the average pricing and the stats look like. So just bear that in mind when you do watch the news and when you see the numbers being reported. For the sake of this video, I will be covering the TREB numbers, so that's why I wanted to preface that. It's important to keep in mind that the GTA and especially Toronto is made up of several micro markets that really behave differently, depending on the property type, the location, specific neighborhoods. So it's not always fair to just look at the average numbers that's being reported by TREB and just, take it with a grain of salt is all I'm saying. So with that out of the way, let's get right into the numbers reported by TREB. The average selling price is reported at $1,119,428. Now, this marked a 3.4% month-over-month increase. Not surprised because August is always a slow month. It is the end of summer. It's the time when nobody really wants to buy or sell real estate. People just want to relax. They want to, go away on vacation, school's out. Not the best time to really be trading in real estate. So the month-over-month increase in prices is not a huge surprise. Year-over-year, prices are also up on average 3%. Now, this shows resiliency, not just on home prices, but also the home seller's mindset and their overall position in the market. However, what's interesting to note is that the total inventory actually reached 18,912 active listings in September, with just 4,642 sales. So total active listings were up almost 40% year over year, and new listings were up 44.1% year over year. Now, this increase in the active of new listings does make sense that we're heading into the fall market in September, which is the start of what we call the fall market. So the number of new listings makes sense. And the fact that sales are actually down, significantly year over year explains why active listings are so high right now. What is surprising to me, however, in this scenario is that the number of sales are lower in September than they were in August, but prices are somehow still up. So let's look at the average prices. For detached homes, we are looking at an average price of $1,440,000. Semi-detached market is $1,094,000. Townhouses at $941,000, and condos at $707,000. All property types on a year-over-year basis have trended upwards, minus the condos, which are actually down 3.3% overall. So as always, as you guys have seen me and heard me talk about in my previous market update videos, the one stat that I always like to look at that's not reported by TREB or any other source is the months of inventory, which is a measure of the absorption rate. And we do that by taking the number of active listings and dividing it by the total number of sales for the previous month. Active listings, which are 18,912, divide that by the number of sales in the past month, which is 4,642, and we get 4, which tells us we're at 4 months of inventory. Now, 4 months of inventory typically puts us on the higher side of a balanced market. Anything 3 or under typically will put us in a seller's market. What we saw back in March, April, May, and even June, we were under that 3 number, which put us in a very high seller's market. So now we're starting to inch closer and closer to a buyer's market, which really on paper is 6 months or more. where buyers really will have a lot of choices, and it'll really start putting upward pressure, or downward pressure rather, on pricing. What I'm seeing on the market right now is, talking to a lot of investor clients, they are starting to put some of their secondary properties on sale, simply because of all the uncertainty surrounding interest rates and the just economic uncertainty in Canada surrounding Bank of Canada's monetary policy. They're being proactive when it comes to any further rate hikes, and also their cost of borrowing and their carrying costs for a lot of these properties. So the first line of defense of what they're doing is putting up their secondary homes for sale. My prediction for moving forward into the rest of this year is we're likely going to see a pretty stagnant market. We're not really going to see much upward, pressure on prices. We're also likely not going to see a rise in the number of sales. I think the market's pretty much more or less going to be flat, possibly even a decline or slight decline in prices. I am going to be curious if the number of active listings goes over the 20,000 mark, which is where our months of inventory is really going to start to creep up. And if we are, going into the new year or in the winter months in a buyer's market, it'll be interesting to see what happens to home prices then. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions or would like to book a call, once again, feel free to click the link in the description, and I'd love to chat with you about any and all of your real estate needs. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.